welcome to Booktube-A-Thon Day 3. This is my first update and it's like 8:30 in the evening. Yeah, I know, but as usual I went to work and then I went grocery shopping and therefore wasn't able to do an update and also didn't have the time to film the challenge of today. But I will include it around here, like after this clip or after the next of the day, although I will film it tomorrow. I'm not really sure which scene I will pick, but probably one of a little life, but we will see. I have not made up my mind completely. Reading wise, I again read in my lunch break and read The Hate You Give a little bit more, and now I'm on page 100 there and I want to take a break because it is readable, but I am so fed up with the characters, with Star, and with the whole situation and with everything in the book. I can't understand why people like this and why people aren't offended by this book, because I really am. And I'm really considering taking a break, but at least for like the next 30 minutes I will, because I will continue reading A Silent Voice. I've read a few more pages of this today already and wow, oh my god, I love this manga so much and I'm so happy that I have volumes 2 and 3 already. Thank you, friend, who I've got those from. You really made my day, my week. I've read a little bit over half of this manga and I have to say it has potential to become one of my favorite manga series already. And I know this is early. We all know how it went with Platinum End. But wow. This is how important topics should be done. Not like The Hate You Give. Finished the first volume of A Silent Voice and wow, this was truly amazing. As you can see, I cried. I could not cry. I'm really flashed. I feel so sorry for both of our protagonists and yeah, I have to read the second volume now. I can't read anything else. I have to continue on because I need to know how the story continues. It's the end of day 3 and it looks like it's super dark and super late, but it isn't. I just let the blinds down. You can see kind of in the back that it's not really that dark outside. It's been not so long since my last update and I started and finished the second A Silent Voice manga. And now I have a problem because I only have the third volume at home and the fourth is kind of not available right now ASAP. The second volume wasn't as extremely touching as the first one, but still really important, and I loved how the story developed, and I really like Shouja. I mean, he's done some shit, but you see that he's a good guy, and I can't wait to see how the story continues. I believe I have some crackpot theories on how the story will continue, but nevertheless I don't care and I still think the series is extremely important. Wow, this series is really good and I can't wait to see the movie. It's so hard that it's a month still that it comes into our cinemas. Yeah, but it comes into our cinemas, that's great. As he saws, he thinks suddenly of Dr. Cashin. Or not of Dr. Cashin necessarily, but the question he had asked him when he was applying to be his adversary. What's your favorite accent? The nerd pickup line CM had once called it. The action of equality, he'd said. and Cashin had nodded approvingly. "That's a good one," he'd said. The axiom of equality states that x always equals x. It assumes that if you have a conceptual thing named x, then it must always be equivalent to itself, that it has a uniqueness about it, that it is in possession of something so irreducible that we must assume it is absolutely, unchangeably equivalent to itself for all time, that its very elementalness can never be altered. But it is impossible to prove. Always absolutes, nevers. These are the words, as much as numbers, that make up the world of mathematics. Not everyone liked the axiom of equality. Dr. Lee had once called it coy and twee, a fan dance of an axiom, but he had always appreciated how elusive it was, how the beauty of the equation itself would always be frustrated by the attempts to prove it. It was the kind of axiom that would drive you mad, that could consume you, that could easily become an entire life. But now he knows for certain how true the axiom is, because he, himself, his very life has proven it. The person I was will always be the person I am, he realizes. The contexts may have changed. He may be in his apartment, and he may have a job that he enjoys and that pays him well, and he may have parents and friends he loves. He may be respected. In court, he may even be feared. But fundamentally, he is the same person. A person who inspires disgust. A person meant to be hated. And in that microsecond that he finds himself suspended in the air, between the ecstasy of being aloft and the anticipation of his landing, which he knows will be terrible, he knows that x will always equal x. No matter what he does, or how many years he moves away from the monastery, from Brother Luke, no matter how much he earns or how hard he tries to forget, it is the last thing he thinks as his shoulder cracks down upon the concrete and the world, for an instant, jerks blessedly away from beneath him. X equals x, he thinks. X equals x. X equals x. I'm so not motivated at all. Yeah, to what I read during the day. I didn't read anything of The Hate You Give today because, like I said yesterday, I thought about taking a break, but I will be back with the book soon because I had a really nice discussion about the book with Helene from Books by Lanes, and now I kind of want to continue on reading the book. Although I may not really like the story, I think it's a good book for discussing it with people, and if that's the only purpose for reading it, then I will do. But today, in my lunch break, I read a book that I actually didn't have on my Booktube-A-Thon TBR, but that I started before the Booktube-A-Thon, and that I have not that many pages left of, and thought, well, maybe I will finish it today, and then I will have finished a real book and not only mangas in the Booktube-A-Thon. And I read from page 196 to page 208 of the second novel in here, Pinball 1973. And yeah, I really still enjoy it. I love Murakami's writing, and you can interpret a lot into it. I always thought that Murakami is really not that far from Kafka. I know, this is probably the lamest, bookish outfit ever, but yeah, I couldn't really think of anything better, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this challenge anyway, so I just went with it. So I just put on a tee and jeans, and I am barefooted, and basically this outfit stands for any character of A Little Life, but because I like Jude the most, Jude. Yeah. Well, that's it. Basically not really anything really special or interesting, but challenge for day 4. I'm sorry guys that today is kind of not really anything from me, and that I didn't do any challenges the last 2 days, but it's just today I don't really feel that great. Maybe I'm getting a cold or something. Not maybe, probably. I don't you know, when you feel that tiredness that you only feel when you're sick or getting sick. Yeah, that's how I feel. And therefore I will go to bed now, but I managed to finish the Haruki Murakami book. Although I don't sound that way, I'm really glad that I did. But I'm also really glad that I can get to sleep now. As you can see, I'm catching up with my challenges. Yeah. Next challenge is for day 5, and this was to create a fictional class and reading this for this fictional class. And the catch was that you had to include a book from your Booktube-A-Thon TBR, and my class will be about Japan and modern Japanese literature. Please be aware that this will be pretty one-sided. I personally actually haven't read that many books by Japanese authors, so they're mostly like 2. Please, I'm sorry, but I don't want to include any books that I haven't read or that I have no feeling for the author whatsoever, so yeah, bear with me, okay? First up, I have 2 books that aren't like technically Japanese literature, but I thought they would be good to get a bit into, you know, the Japanese culture. And Japan for Your Pocket by François Hauser, that just has great information on Japan and the culture and their religion and the history, so everything good like in one little book. The other is the book on the Japanese garden of Bad Langensalza. I know that's kind of a white pick, but it gives you a little bit more insight on how Japanese gardens work and what is behind this, and so also kind of a bit a view into the mentality of the Japanese people. Then I want to really start off this course with something that I believe would be pretty fun, and that is to compare different formats of possible Japanese literature, and that would be, in my case, comparing light novels to mangas to animes. And for this case I chose the first 2 Sword Art Online light novels and the first 2 Sword Art Online mangas, because both cover the first arc, the Aincrad arc. I'm not necessarily sure if all books and mangas would have to be read, but at least like the first of both, but they differ from the way the story is told, so yeah, probably good to read all 4 books and then watch the anime, the first half of the first season, the Aincrad arc, and then compare what is different from the adaptation of the light novel to the manga to the anime, and so on and so forth. I think that could be a great topic to start off the course to get the students interested. And then I would also read a book by the famous Japanese author Haruki Murakami, and therefore I picked 3 books that I would kind of, you know, let the people choose if they want to read it and what they want to read, but at least, you know, dive into all 3 of them a bit. And one is Underground, the other is his first 2 novels, and that is When the Wind Sings and Pinball 1973. And the last book is one of his short story collections of Men Without Women. And then to explore the light novel genre a bit more, I would read another light novel, and for this I choose the Biter, the first volume in the Isolator series by Riki Kawahara. Yeah, because I really liked it, and it is actually pretty in-depth, and I also think it's a great way to show how Riki Kawahara's writing developed over the time. It's also with the Haruki Murakami books, you can see how he changed and how his writing style developed and his, you know, storytelling technique. And then lastly I would read another manga, and for this I chose the first volume in the A Silent Voice series by Yoshitoki Oima, because I think this has a really important topic and it has really great art style, so you could compare this art style to the one in Sword Art Online. That's also a nice thing, and just that you see how different the topics in mangas can be.